Hi my frogs, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're actually going to be recording a fic that I made called Traversing the Universe. This fic is heavily inspired by my lost and founds drifting through the cosmos, but I am planning to write it in a way so that it gets split off later, and it's gonna become its own thing, I swear. Alright, the rating is teen and up audiences, and at the moment I'm not using any archive warnings, but that is subject to change in the future. Summary. Inspired by my lost and founds fic drifting through the cosmos, this fic will seem incredibly similar to DTC, especially in the early chapters, but it will split off later. Actual summary. Oops, got kidnapped. Notes. There is a language here that I made up by combining two languages that I know. It will be formatted with italics and underline. Do not try to read it. I can barely read it myself, and I made this. But I will post a translation guide after the last chapter. Whenever that is. Chapter 1. Shit, are those aliens? It was a day like no other. Really it was. It was a normal day in a relatively normal high school in a partly normal class. UA Ground Omega, at about 5 p.m. on a weekend. Midoriya, you're getting faster with your attacks, said the calm, smooth voice of Shoji. It was one of those calm days. Midoriya, after putting himself in severe danger to basically save the world again, was sparring with Shoji to help blow off steam, train Black Whip to be better. Uraraka was floating around, partly to improve her balance and movement speed while floating, and while helping Midoriya do multiple things at once with said Black Whip, in the form of trying to catch her and objects that she floated, while also sparring Shoji. Boom! An explosion rang out from nearby where the trio were, followed by a faint whiff of caramel. Raccoon eyes, spark blood! If you drag me out here to spar, at least try to dodge, yelled out a very angry Katsuki, a Bakugo who was quite pissed at Ashido and Kaminari for dragging him out to spar and then, quote, not dodging well enough. They were a few meters away from the trio. That was until a small whiz, that akin of a bug, was out in UA Forest. A small gadget about the size of an apple was flying about the area, buzzing around like a fly. There was a slight rustle in a bush, right as a certain sleep-deprived support course student with pink dreadlocks jumped out, chasing after the gadget, with a, by the looks of it, broken remote at the foot of the bush. Hey! That turned a few heads. Get back here, baby! He's 17,392. Okay, that might be too many gadgets, was the thought going through the minds of the group of 6. The gadget buzzed around a bit more before Hatsume all but pounced on it, buzzing around frantically in her hand as she tried to manually. But before she manually turned it off, it broke out of her hands. Kaminari and Ashido got their focus on sparring with Katsuki back when he blew up something close to them, while Shoji, Midoriya, and Uraraka continued doing as they were and may return to trying to catch the gadget, which turns out was a camera. Still recording. Yes, a perfectly normal, completely ordinary day at UA High School. Nothing bad could possibly happen. A small boom nearby that definitely wasn't Katsuki rang out in the distance. A rustle in the tree, and then another and another. Hatsume? Said a nervous Ashido. Is that another one of your gadgets? Right as Hatsume was about to respond, a stab-happy, knife-wielding Toga leaped out that signature manic smile on her face, and a previously stated knife aimed right at Midoriya's shoulder. But right as she was about to make contact with her target, a blow dart, about the size of a pencil with a bright red feathered end, hit her in the neck, and she went down like a soaked ragdoll, passing out moments later. Hatsume approached the now unconscious blonde, forgetting about her gadget and momentarily, eyes fixated on the dart. Just as she was about to come closer, Ashido and Shoji both collapsed onto the ground, with similar darts sticking out of their shoulders. Kaminari reached up to his headset to try and contact help, but right as his hand touched to turn on the comm, a dart hit him in the nape, and he, just like his classmates in Toga before him, went down. Bakugo's eyes locked onto the source of the darts, and, "What the fuck is that?" is what was going through his mind as he aimed to explode the things, as a dart landed right under his collarbone, causing him to collapse in seconds. Uraraka had just landed right before a dart found its place in her collarbone as well, incredibly close to her neck, and just as everyone else, she went down. Midoriya stayed near the group of his now followed classmates at Villain, while Hatsumi was running back to the main campus, having sent an SOS signal to the design lab while running back to the main campus, but unfortunately, it wasn't long before Midoriya heard a thud about 15 meters away. He felt a small pierce near his nape. His vision started swimming. His head and eyes felt heavy. Why was he on the ground now? What the heck are those? Giant roaches? Ants? Wasp? What were they saying? Was that English? And then it all just went dark as those things approached the now unconscious group of 8. A silent Hagakure was watching from behind a tree. She was originally there to inform the hero students that Aizawa wanted them back at the dorm soon, since their requested time to use Ground Omega was almost up, and she wanted to spook them a bit. But got there as Uraraka went down, as one of the things spoke. Yuki, what was that thing? What was it saying? Thought Hagakure, as it started to hoist the unconscious teams up. One of them spoke again. Sorame va yuke novuki. The third one chimed in. No vietrava adet va harim. Davame. Jem vosaki dva ait sorame. Aiki oda hodinaki. Novuki voza agedvait. She knew she couldn't fight them even if she tried. Even Midoriya went down that quickly. She needs to run and tell the teachers now. Unfortunately, by the time she got back with Aizawa and Yamada, the teens were long gone. The only traces they were there in the first place were a few fallen pieces of the hero student's gear, one of Toga's knives, and Hatsume's gadgets still buzzing in the area, still recording. Notes. See what I mean? Don't try to read it. My nickname for it is the stroke language for a reason. Anyways, next time, a new location, and thank you to Pinami Podfic for beta reading. And now, please, if possible, continue beta reading future chapters. And for my dear viewers, as a little hint, so far I have about 22 chapters planned out. Expect at least double that for the whole series. And I mean at least. But we'll see how this pans out. Hopefully I can finish it by the end of 2029. We'll see. Anyways, bye guys. See you. Hopefully you guys can tune in next time. And again, sorry if the video's a little bit late. Personal bullshit with my mental health. Really trying to take care of my brain so that way I don't do something stupid and irreversible. But that's it. Bye, my frogs.